Okay, in this video we do an example of a t-test where we're testing a population mean against a known value. Now let's just do problem 930 from the book. And what we have is we have a bank manager and they've developed a new system to reduce the time customers spend waiting for a teller service. Right now it's at 9 to 10 minutes and they think they can make it to less than 6. So what they want you to do is set up the null and alternative hypotheses needed to provide evidence supporting the claim that the population mean is shorter than 6. So we're going to try to prove it's less than 6 minutes. And there's the data. So when I go grab the data, this is the wait time. Here are my 6 steps. See, I explicitly wrote these. The step 1, the first step, is identifying the null hypothesis, and what it is that I'm assuming that the mean, the population mean, is equal to 6. I could actually say it's greater than or equal to 6. And I'm going to try to prove that it's less than 6 because that's what the problem is. I'm trying to prove the system reduces the time to less than 6 minutes. Step 2 is I establish my alpha equal to 0.05. You can always set it to 0.05. Step 3 is go calculate your test statistic. I need to calculate the sample average. I know what this is. This is 6. There's my sample standard deviation and the mean. So let's go do that. The sample average is the average of these numbers. That's the data. This is 6. This is the standard deviation, stdev.s. Go grab the data. And the sample size is the count of the data points. I've got 100. So my test statistic then is equal to x bar minus 6 divided by s divided by the square root of my sample size. Like that. So there's my t-stat. Then I go down to calculate my p-value. Since this alternative hypothesis is a less than, we're in this world. So you calculate your p-value by going equal t.dist, grab your t-stat that you just calculated. Your degrees of freedom is the sample size minus 1 and the last argument's 1. There's your p-value. Now you can compare your p-value to alpha. And so since the p-value is less than alpha, you reject the null hypothesis. And then the practical conclusion is the new system works. To reduce times to less than 6 minutes. You reject the null hypothesis, which is assuming that it's greater than or equal to 6. You've just rejected it, which means the mean is less than 6, so that's what this last sentence is. So that's an example of how you do t-test in Excel, where we're testing a population mean against a known value. Thanks.